Good afternoon. It is October 21st, 2022, and looks like we probably hit a measured move of this midline. Yeah, you can see that. That happens a lot. If we can't make the measured move of the range, we'll just hit the measured move of the midline to the highs or the lows. Doesn't happen all the time. Sometimes it's the price action bounces or ends at a random spot, but I mean, I've seen it dozens of times now. So anyway, let's take a look at these trades. Looked like a range, but then it kept moving up. So, and looks like if you were in here early, it was probably the best time to trade. So right away, you have this uptrend, and where does 5 o'clock come in? So actually, wow, 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock comes in. We're working down here. I don't think you would have taken any of these trades. This is congestive. So when it bounces, it doesn't look like you get a chance to enter this, but when we get a break, you get a first entry, second entry, and if you don't take that, you get a higher low right there. So two really good opportunities before the market even opens. That's what I'm all about. That's why I like doing this. I would prefer getting it over with. You might even consider going short there or here on the lower high, but better off waiting just because we're not sure what's happening yet, if it's a range or not. Turns out to be a range, and then we just start going sideways. And then technically this is a failure, and it's off the trend channel, so I marked it red, but I could see a case for it being green because this is pretty sideways. That overshoot leads to a break, and we don't get a new low. And really just some more sideways stuff in this range. So I don't like anything in here. And then for whatever reason, prices just rocket on up sideways. And this turns out to be a trend channel right here. And so when we get this bounce, then you get a first entry, failed second entry. I like that just because this looks like correction sideways. It just looks like a reversal. First entry, second entry, unfortunately, no good setup. So maybe you take this higher low. That's off the trend line. And then we get a double test right here, but not a great signal bar. You might take that. You might take that. Well, we got a break. That's why I didn't mark it, because it's a double test, but we got a break. So now we got to move to a new high, and then we start reversing. You get a break of that, and you get this. This is a failure. It also looks like a first entry, second entry, even though it's a third entry, but it's a failure too. So I marked that. And then we're going sideways here. And this is actually a second entry short, but you'd have that range drawn, and then you're just going into the lows. So I don't think you want to take that. Then you have this move up, but it still kind of looks like sideways. And the failure happens below the EMA, so there's just no entries. And then this is, I mean, this is a valid channel. You can tell by the midline. But it would have been hard to find in real time, and it really wouldn't have helped you anyway. But you do get this reversal, which I like. I like the setup. I think there's room to here for a scalp. So yeah, there's room for a scalp. And then we just make a couple legs down. Sideways, moves up, goes sideways. Too congested for me up here, even though that's like a double test. It kind of looks like a second entry short too, but I don't like it. Shoot up, and you get a second entry long. It's just it's not in like an uptrend. I mean, like a confirmed channel is what I mean. But it is a second entry long, super bullish right here, so I like that. We move up, we go sideways, and you get a first entry, failed second entry. Maybe you take that on a breakout pullback, failed second entry short, but it's pretty ways away from the EMA. Make this leg up above the overnight highs, it fails, and you get this double test, but no signal bar really. You might actually take that, but it's very congestive, so it's aggressive, very aggressive. Then you get a first entry, failed second entry long. I like that one. I like that one. It's pretty close to the trend line. So come up here, first entry. So this looks like a second entry, but it's not. It's technically it's third entry, but it looks like a trap. There's enough room to back to the EMA for a scalp. Then we bounce off this trend channel, and I don't think you can take anything in here. Find some resistance up here. What is that? Oh, this is a second entry that I think people could have mistaken for a double test. I mean, it is a double test and a second entry, but it's two dojis stacked up, and we had a break of this channel. So it worked earlier, but it's just not a great setup. It's not clear that we're in this range. This breakout isn't going to fail. So you just got to be picky. First entry, second entry, double test up here. Maybe you take that. You know, it failed here, but also look how much room there is back to the EMA. Not a lot. I think it was like 4 ticks. And it went like 3 ticks this way. So here you have plenty of room back to the EMA. So I like this one. New low, first entry, failed second entry short, off the trend channel. I like that. And I don't like any of this sideways stuff. And then we rock it up. And this is a pretty strong trend, so I was thinking maybe you could take this one or this one. Because this looks like a pretty strong trend to me. Especially this one. Yeah, actually, no, both of these. But then by here, you're going sideways. And that brings us into the end of the day. So that's what I saw today. I hope everyone has a great weekend. I'll be back Monday.